Alright, bubs, listen up. We got some big news today, and it's been a long time coming. Ever since the Alien and Predator comics moved over to Marvel, we've been teased of the seemingly endless possibilities of crossovers between the Alien, Predator, and Marvel characters. In fact, when the move was first made, we were even teased with several variant covers of comics featuring aliens and predators squaring off against classic Marvel heroes. It's hard to believe, but that was just about 3 years ago at this point. But now we have the first official crossover, and it has been announced as Predator vs. Wolverine. Here's what Marvel.com has to say. It's the bloodthirsty saga fans have been waiting for. This September, the Predator will be unleashed on the Marvel Universe for the very first time as he viciously hunts Wolverine across decades of Marvel comic history in Predator vs. Wolverine. The 4-issue limited series will be written by Benjamin Percy, the acclaimed writer known for taking Wolverine's ferocious spirit to its limits in the character's current ongoing solo series. Percy will be joined by a host of all-star artistic talent including Greg Land, Andrea DeVito, Ken Lashley, Kei Zama, and many more. The series will reveal a bitter rivalry between Wolverine and a Yautja who's been stalking him since his earliest days. Witness these never-before-told encounters as Percy brings the bloodiest hunters in all pop culture to their knees. The thrill is the kill. Wolverine has lived one of the longest and most storied lives in comics history. Now witness the untold greatest battles of Logan's life against a Predator. When Yautja seeks the greatest prey in existence and finds it in Weapon X. From the blood-ridden snows of the Canadian wilderness to the sword-slinging streets of Madripoor, Wolverine and a Predator break everything in their paths on their way to the ultimate victory, or glorious death. On why he's the perfect writer to craft this groundbreaking story, Percy said, "I'm not going to say I was born to write this crossover, but sometimes the universe reveals why you were created. I am a child of the 80s. I cannot tell you how many times I watched Predator, just as I cannot tell you how many Wolverine comics I have read. Because that would be like telling you how many breaths I've taken, or cheeseburgers I've eaten. The mythologies of both are ingrained in me so deeply they might as well be strands of DNA or wisps of soul. The guns, claws, beef, and blood of both franchises have been stewing in my brain since 1987, when I read myself to sleep every night with a stack of Marvel comics, and my friends and I used to play Predator with Nerf guns in the woods and river near our neighborhood. This epic hunt will span decades, as both of these giants learn and harden and grow deadlier with time," Percy continued. "Neither will have time to bleed, but you better make time to read, because I'm putting everything I've got into this event, and I'm thrilled to join forces with some of the best artists in the business." Cover art for the first issue has been revealed, and the release date has been announced, September 20th, 2023, so not too far away. I have to admit, I'm looking forward to it. I think this is a good choice for the first, and hopefully not last, crossover in the Marvel Comics. Not only is Wolverine one of the all-time popular characters, but it just seems like a good fit between characters. Wolverine is this tough, animalistic character and something of a hunter himself. He's unique among the X-Men mutants, and I think a Yautja would reasonably perceive this creature to be worthy prey and a prized trophy. Prized enough, I guess, to be worth pursuing for decades on end. Needless to say, I think the two would put up a pretty interesting fight, or fights, against each other. I hope they tackle it all in an interesting way, taking advantage of their respective traits. It has potential. I mean, of course it does. This is the Predator and the Wolverine. These are two heavyweight, badass characters, and there are so many opportunities they can take with this type of story. Logically, you can look at this and think, well, yeah, obviously Wolverine is going to win, right? They're not going to have some random Predator show up and kill off a beloved character that's been around for years. Sure, fair enough, but one, hey, you never know, and two, with a good enough story, you can start having a few doubts. One of my favorites, and possibly the gold standard for Predator versus superhero crossovers, is the original Batman versus Predator. We know, instinctively, Batman will eventually win the day, but he does get his ass handed to him. He is put through absolute hell. And the way he rises to the occasion, learns about his foe, and ultimately comes out as victorious feels fair and makes sense. It's a very satisfying story and match. But that's a very contained story. It takes place over a few days. What's unique about this story that Percy has written is that it takes place over decades, and I find that pretty intriguing. I like the idea of going back to well-known Wolverine stories and events and working in the Predator that, at least according to this story, was in the periphery the whole time. I think that's a novel concept, something we haven't quite seen before in a crossover event such as this. So we clearly have a writer who's passionate about both Wolverine and Predator, seems to know these characters well, and can hopefully deliver something special. The talent seems to be there. I won't get into the whole thing about the art. I've been disappointed in the past, but here's hoping. Personally, I do hope it delivers, and I hope it's good enough and successful enough that we see more of these types of crossovers. Maybe not all the time, but carefully considered, more as a special event. There's lots they can do, and this could be the first step into a grand tradition. I love the fact that DC's characters have had it up against the Aliens and Predators, and now it's Marvel's turn. It should be pretty interesting. Do you think Wolverine was a good character to choose for Marvel's inaugural crossover with the Predator? What are you hoping to see in this series, and do you like the concept of it taking place over decades? Comment below and share your thoughts. As always, I'd like to thank you very much for watching today. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date with the latest videos from the channel, and until next time, this is Alien Theory, signing off.